we are getting priced out. If you want to run a local AI, if you want to buy a computer, now the price is getting incredibly high. But those prices are also getting high for those AI corporations that they want to build those AI data centers. So everything is getting more and more expensive. This is a strategy. It's not just a fact, yeah, technology is more expensive. Yeah, we need more compute. No, this is the strategy of pricing everybody out so they can have the monopoly. Now, during this video, I want to explain a little bit the details. Then there is going to be a deep dive article where you can read more about this. So let's understand the strategy. So to gain a monopoly, you need to really make it impossible for everybody else to compete against you. And there is no better way to create an extremely high price to get inside the club. Now, this is the reason why they're looking for this brute force approach to AI. Okay, this idea that the more you throw compute at it, the better it's gonna get. There's other way of doing it. There's experts that have been working, in different direction. There is a way to optimize instead of just force it. But what we are seeing is this idea of let's make it more expensive. Let's make it in a way that nobody else, unless they have billions of dollars, can compete against us. And let's create a scenario where people that wants to have access to those machines, they can't even find it. So we saw Elon Musk buying, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of cards, basically ordering every output that NVIDIA would create, okay, every kind of card and everything. And that is the thing, okay, they do multi-year contract to try to grab all the computer, because it's not just about having the computer, it's not having your competitors having access to it. So this pushed the price up, of course, in an insane way. So we see a series of problems. Now, we as an individual, we are not going to buy those AI data centers. We are going to have our own computer. Now, our own computer costs more and more. The RAM price is up, I don't even know how much. It's like getting insane. Same with CPUs, hard drive, and so on. So the price is getting higher and higher. This is happening because these companies like NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, somehow they see that there is a better opportunity of supplying those large corporations instead of individual. Those large corporations are willing to pay premium to get the compute. Now, we are forced, because of this, as a side effect, to have scarcity inside the market, and therefore the price goes up. What it means exactly for us is pretty simple. As things get more expensive, means there's going to be a smaller market. For those corporations, doesn't change much, okay? Because they sell 50% less, but a double of the price. So what they earn is the same. They just have a better deal. But for a lot of other companies that, for example, supply other parts of the computer, now they have no market because there are 50% less sale of computers. So fans, cases, motherboard, and whatever, okay? Cable, wires, all that part, okay? All the other elements that are part of the building of those computers are gonna be sold less, half of the time. So that creates a massive pressure on this. And slowly what creates a system that becomes so expensive that most people can't afford it. It's a kind of a boutique computer, kind of industry. And people are going to be priced out. So there is two alternatives. Or you're rich, you buy your machine to have actually lower compute than what is cheap and provided through the cloud. That is the monopoly, how they build it. It's impossible to create a total destruction of this local machine, okay, but there's always going to be someone that is willing to pay insane amount of money to have your local hardware. that in the short term we have this shift of pressure. Now, for most of us, in reality, a $20 subscription, it's really, really convenient when you compare to thousands of dollars that you need to invest for having a local AI. So it's getting harder and harder to justify this local system. Reality is that we need to change this narrative. There is a few things that need to be changed and can be changed. First of all, we need to somehow take control of this narrative, because this is the narrative of fear. Okay, fear the missing out, fear that there's gonna be no alternatives, fear that it's the game is already played and we are just the victim of this. We need to understand that this is not true. Okay, this is the narrative that they push. They use fear to control us, fear of AGI, fear or rogue AI, fear if the public get hold of the most powerful computer, fear of those open source model. They use every kind of strategy to stop the public to have access to the tools that they want to provide. So, first of all, we need to understand that is this fear, this FOMO, this push for speed, it's on their advantage. Why is this? Because at the moment, the market works in this way, okay? The market is really driven by emotional logic, okay? There's no data-driven market. It doesn't work like this, okay? It's just pure emotion. It's driven by human, and we as a human, we FOMO here, we fear, and then we dump the stocks and so on. So why they are pushing for speed is because they created an environment where at the moment there are billions being invested. Okay, and to carry on getting billions and billions invested, they need to push on this fear of missing out. Okay, they need to give this feeling to the human, to the investors, which is the one of, I can do it with you or without you, I'm gonna carry on doing. You can be part of this and become rich billionaires together with us, or you can be out of it. We're gonna protect you, because what they do, we can't invest on, for example, on the new OpenAI, XAI, whatever it is, stock or Anthropic. We can't invest on them. Only specific people can do it, and it's not me and you. Okay, crazy enough. Okay, some people will be able to buy those stocks, not us. Private. Okay, so they push that kind of narrative, that kind of their club. Okay, their AI, look Anthropic, their AI, their mythos, we can't access to it. Okay, only their friends can have access to this. They decide, okay, who can use the most powerful AI, and who can't. And they fight against the open source, and so nobody can have a free AI open to everybody. No, they want their only AI, only their friend, the most powerful, and with one single ideology. Okay, their ideology. They are the savior. Okay, the one that respects AI, because AI has a soul, and because I don't even want to go into that part. Okay. Anyway, so that is the idea of what it is. Okay, they try to push for speed and speed and speed. So everybody FOMO in. There's no alternative. You are in or out. If you in, you're gonna have access to money and intelligence and so on. If you're out, you're gonna be out of be comfortable in your life ever again. That's the narrative. People believe it, and this is what is happening. At the moment, the stock market is driven by those corporations. So the top corporations are all about AI and technology. So they reach a level that if they fail, the entire country, the entire US could go in trouble. So they will have support from government. Okay, and that is the cycle that they're building. Okay, which is extremely difficult to get out of it, because everything become connected to it. The healthy financial system of a country is connected in the hand of those corporations, they must succeed. Billionaires invested billions in those corporations, and now they need to succeed. Okay, and succeed means AGI, total human replacement. Okay, that's the goal. Now you can say, okay, but this is been already planned. You can come up with this conspiracy theory. This is being decided on the table, and this is what they're gonna build. In reality, when you start a business, when you start something, what you do, you see opportunities, okay, and then you optimize for those opportunities, and then things seems to be aligned because you strategize around those opportunities, and those opportunities become reality, and then everything seems like a plan for the beginning. Nothing is planned for the beginning. Everything is strategized and somehow monetized, in the sense capitalized. Maybe that's the word. So they see the opportunity of creating this AI. To remove competitors, you need to make something that not everybody can have it. Okay, so if nobody can have it, you need to develop in a way that is become difficult, and in this case, costly. Okay, so everything is done via brute force productivity, brute force compute. So you need a lot of money, and therefore you create an environment that only with money you can be part of it. Meaning 99.9% of people will be out of the competition. Now you are in 0.1% of environment where you need to compete with really a small amount of people, but those people are really motivated. Okay, so you have a huge, massive corporation fighting for that space there. The fact that the price of the hardware goes up, in reality, for them is better. It's better for Nvidia because they're just making an insane amount of money. Okay, but it's better because that is how you can price people out. So even within those corporations, look at, for example, Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. The price goes up. Who can survive that kind of environment? Only people that are really good in finding investment. Okay, so Google on one side has is huge. Okay, they make money. They don't even need investment, and before even needing the investment, they are in an amazing position. They are really placed in a position where they're probably gonna win. OpenAI, on the other side, the Sam Altman is really good in finding money. Okay, is for whatever reason. I don't understand, but he's really good, and it's true. It's keep funding billions and billions to push their company. Is a person that can see the logarithmic growth, and therefore he is managed to place the roadmap of the company in a way that is working for him, is working for the environment. Anthropic is not good in looking at this exponential growth, and they find themselves without compute. Okay, and they were thinking maybe to build a boutique kind of AI, okay, AI agency where they have really high price and less people, really specialized stuff, but the demand they become really huge. So now they were without enough compute. Elon Musk came in to save them, okay, and they give these I can't even remember the name, the data center, okay, the AI data center. So now Anthropic will survive. But that is what is happening, okay? It will survive because XAI was actually in complete trouble. They were using like 5% of the computer that they had. Okay, so they had so much machine and they were not used. So they were somehow losing in a different way. Okay, they had the hardware, but not an AI that was convincing the market, so nobody was using it. And Anthropic had a really good AI model, but they didn't have the computer. So they find this agreement. Now they will survive, even though they hate each other, but they will survive. So for us as an individual, what is going on here? Because of this pricing going up and up, what is happening, we are now don't have a cheap way to get into a sovereign AI, a way to own this hardware. Those hardware become really expensive. So we are also getting priced out. How do we do this now? Okay, because this is a real problem. I have, for example, this Asus GX10, which is one of those NVIDIA kind of Spark hardware, and pretty good. But they are, since I bought it, it's $1,000 more expensive than when I bought it. Okay, so it went up $1,000, which is a lot. Okay, this is a lot. I don't really know what is going to be the future like, okay, because nobody knows. But there is one thing. We as a human, we are pretty clever in finding a way to survive. Okay, so what is happening? They're investing on something that is going to be extremely expensive, extremely will require a lot of powers. Everything needs to be a kind of an elite. Okay, that is how they create the monopoly. Okay, you can only work with us because there's no alternatives. So the fact that the price of computer are going up for them is a win. It was not by design. It was just a side effect. But now this side effect, they can say, okay, let's capitalize on this. Let's make it impossible for people to buy computer. So they must come to the cloud. So let's make it even more expensive. And how do you do this? It's all about speed. Okay, because price goes up when the market supply cannot cover the demand. Okay, then the price must go up. So, because if we slow it down, the whole system, okay, and build, which instead of having everything today, but having it within a couple of years, then the demand wouldn't go so crazy, and therefore the price will stay to a reasonable price. So the speed is something that they need, and the speed is created by FOMO. Okay, who can generate this AGI will win over everybody. If China create AGI before we do, we're gonna be doomed. Okay, fear to control the narrative. So that's why I'm telling you, don't go into that thing, that narrative, because that narrative is manipulation. It's not real. Okay, it's just a narrative used to make them win. The fact here is also that if they build a narrative, the things become reality because there are billions to build it. So that narrative become something that is fulfilling prophecy. I don't know how you say, but when things will happen because the people are working on that thing. So it's a kind of a cycle, which is completely difficult to get out of it. So what is our strategy in here? So let me explain, because that is how we can change the whole thing. So always remember that we as a human have control over things, okay? The difficult part, we can have control if we are a lot of us. So they measure success in billions of dollars. So we need to succeed on millions and billions of people, okay? So we as a group of people can win always. They can't do things without humans. Until now, okay, we are still there. So we have a sort of window where they need us, okay? They need human, they need our money, they need our data. So we are in reality in control, but we are not organized. That disorganization, it's how they win. Okay, they are a structure, highly organized, with a lot of money to push a narrative. We are more of them, we have more money than them, but we have no an organization, no structure, not a fixed ideology, nothing that put us together, that align our intent, our goal to actually organize and work against that. So we have a window, meaning they are in the next few years, they will manage to create an AI that can replace human. So at that point, they actually don't need us anymore. That is how crazy it is. it's going to be a long journey, okay? So again, we don't need to FOMO in. We need to understand the trajectory, and this trajectory can change because it's not written, okay? It's just something that they are trying to build. Okay, this is something that they invest in billions, and they can only recoup those billions if they succeed. So that is the narrative. So in reality, they are extremely fragile. They are betting with everything on a specific narrow narrative. The narrative of they are gonna win with monopoly, with absolute control, with and a technology they don't know how to build it in reality, but they must find a way to build it. On our side, we have time. Okay, so we could just organize ourselves and slow the whole process. That will create a massive impact to the structure. And the other things that we have, it's intelligence, let's say. Okay, so we as a collective, we have motivation and intelligence to build an alternative. And that's what we should do. The most hardest thing, though, that we have is it's difficult to align ourselves, okay, to work together for a specific goal. That is the hardest part, for several reasons. Okay, it's much harder to organize a billion of people than a group of a couple of hundreds. Okay, and in most scenarios there is. The alignment again comes from incentive. So you have the board of the company that use money, okay, and to control everybody that is working for them. So it's an easy and clear way of alignment. Okay, I pay you, you work for me. That's it. Okay, it's pretty simple. In society, how do we align ourselves? Okay, we at the moment, what is happening is we align through ideology. Okay, so there is a movement, a philosophy that we can resonate with, we align with, and therefore we say, okay, I believe in this, and I'm gonna follow it. The problem with this is you're gonna follow it, but as a hobby, okay, as a part-time thing, okay, versus them, they are actually full-time because there is a financial incentive. So how do we create a financial incentive to actually organize ourselves? At the moment it's difficult because the picture that I'm showing you is not clear. Most people don't even understand it. Most people don't see that they're going to be replaced by AI and robotics. Okay, they think, yeah, this is AI is great, but I don't see it. Okay, nothing is happening. I use it as an idiot. Okay, and which I agree. Okay, so your experience, you say, it's never going to be able to replace me because it's like working with an idiot. But we are getting better, we as a society, and I also myself, getting better in maneuvering this idiotic AI to actually achieve something that makes sense, have value. So it's just a process. So if you're on this channel, it's because you've been using AI for long, okay? So you know that there is a way to extract value from this technology. And the value that you can extract can really do an impact. But most people don't really see this yet. So what is going to happen is because they are somehow not participating to the narrative, to the story, they are passive. That passive position, again, is something that make those corporations win. Because you're passive, they write a narrative, they invest billions in building the narrative. You become somehow a passive observer first, but then a passive victim of the system itself. So you are somehow trapped into the reality that they're building. So the first step here is try to think about this problem. Try to say, okay, how can I move from the passive position, okay, to the active one? That is the first step. Then what we need to do is to find a way. I'm saying this thing what we need to do, but I'm doing it, okay? So there is a way out. But the point here is what we need to find as a community, a way to financially incentivize let's call it rebellion. Okay, so we need to financially incentivize a new ideology that is we as a human in the center, and it's not about fighting AI. It's about fighting a narrative, a system, the monopoly of those corporations. So that is what we need to find, because there's no technology is never a problem. Okay, it's the intent behind it and those corporations behind it. So we need to align with this ideology, find a financial incentive to be aligned with this, and now work for it. And that is how we get out. Remember that we, in reality, if we organize ourselves, we win. There's no like a doubt. Who knows if we're gonna? No, we win. Okay, when we are the number, we always win. Community, we always win. Okay, we control everything together. Okay, we can control governments, we can control company, we can control where our money goes, and we can bankrupt any company out there, anything. So we have total control if we are organized. So in reality, we are on paper, we're winning. Okay, even though it doesn't look like so. But on paper, we can win easily. The most difficult part is organize ourselves. They are building narratives to divide us already. Okay, so the narrative of be pro AI or be against AI. Pro AI, total adoption, follow just the hype, total hype, get in, and just make billions with us and so on. Okay, total hype. The world is gonna be amazing. Cancer is gonna be cured. We're gonna colonize the universe. We are building the future. There's going to be new jobs. There's going to be AI that cook for you, fold your laundry. Okay, like if that is the best thing in life. No, we are going to get all of this as long as we follow them. That is the thing. Okay, so that is how complicated this scenario here is. We need instead to say, okay, we can do something. So it takes long, this journey. Okay, I'm trying to drag. Why I'm dragging? Because the friction of reality. We need to feel it. We need to understand that to change something, it's not pressing a button. It's not just like and subscribe. Okay, it's actually taking a real action. Real action here is build this community. So I already started. I already wrote this manifesto. The manifesto, it is about not fighting us. It's to actually empowering, giving you sovereignty to control. So it's not the idea of let's follow this monoculture, but let's build a multiculture, multiverse of different, each one of us is a universe. Okay, so that's why I call it multiverse. Each one of us is a multiverse, is a universe, and together we build a multiverse, this variety of intelligence. That's how we win. Okay, they push one single culture, we push millions of cultures. Okay, that is how we can win, because that is the intelligence. The intelligence is not in one single culture that should be fine for every one of us. We should think all alike. No. The intelligence is the ability to see things differently. That's how we need to work together. Now, how do we align though? What's the financial incentives? So I'm gonna explain in simple terms. The financial incentives comes from having a sovereign community with an internal financial system. That means we own the central bank, let's say, okay, an equivalent of central bank. So we own the financial system. Now we can design it in a way that serves us, that we own it and not pay for it. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, the moment that you just to simplify, okay, the moment that you own a supermarket, it's true that you go there to buy the product, okay, but you earn from everyone that participate inside the economy. You decide the product that are going to be inside the supermarket, the quality, the different elements of it, the pricing of it, the membership maybe level that you want to have, because you decide, okay, some people we want to give a discount, for some people we want to, I don't know, create a niche, whatever. Okay, so we now, as a community, we can manage the supermarket, let's say. It's much better than be a client. So you can be client of your supermarket, but the moment that you become a client of the supermarket, you also become a co-owner. So that is the difference. You will never be a co-owner of those corporations. Okay, they're just gonna do the illusion. Even if you buy, I'm gonna buy stocks from Google, you can't vote. Okay, what you're buying is 0.00001% of those companies. You have nothing. Okay, it's just an illusion of be part of it, and it's just an illusion. What we need to build is something different. Now, this community is based on a technology. Okay, so to make it fair, we don't need to have one single point of failure, which is the boss, the person that own it. Has to be decentralized. The ownership needs to be decentralized. The governance needs to be decentralized. Okay, how we work together needs to be decentralized. This shouldn't be a kind of class A, class B, and class C citizens. There should be just a way for everybody to join without asking permission to anyone. Okay, everybody should have zero friction to be part of this. This is possible to do with the DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, using blockchain technology. Now, a lot of people heard about this blockchain technology. All they know is a scam, the bubbles and so on. In reality, this technology exists now for I don't know how many years. I think 13, 15, I can't remember now. And it never died. Even though all those scams, it never died. Because it solved a problem in a way that can never be solved otherwise than with this technology. So this technology can do things that couldn't be done before. And is the only one that can create decentralization. Decentralization is exactly the opposite of what they're building. Total centralization. We build decentralization. Incredibly hard to fight. Because it's not like, I'm going to corrupt that person and get control. I'm going to pay that person to become part of my company. I'm going to make that person rich so he's going to come and work for us. You can't do it. Decentralized. There's not one single person that controls it. Okay, that's how we need to build. So decentralization is the key. So they build one culture, we build the multiculture, okay, the multiverse. They want to centralize power, we decentralize power. Okay, they want to replace human, we want to augment human. Okay, everything needs to be in somehow opposite of what they're doing, and that's how we win. Okay, that is they work with FOMO and fear. We work in the opposite way. We don't need to rush. We need just to participate, build, and so on. The path, it's a path of victory by default. Okay, we as a number, we just need to grow, organize, grow, and act. Okay, it's not easy, of course, because it's really hard. They try, like I said, those narratives that need to divide us, pro AI or against AI. Okay, this is binary thinking. Okay, this is not the multi. This is the monoculture. Okay, all with us or against us. No, we are somewhere in the middle. Okay, and we need to be in the middle. And we don't need to be on the same point. We need to be different points because that's how we express our humanity. So that is what we can offer. This is what we have. And that is what we need to build. So now, how do we build this? Okay, we build it by working together. I already started this. This channel, it is about this. Okay, it is about we as a human using AI to augment ourselves. We as a human organize ourselves inside this now. So at the moment, I'm a small channel. I'm totally aware about this, and but the journey is on an exponential curve. So it took 9 months to get 2,000 people in this channel. And then last week I made other 1,000. The week before, I'm saying week, but in reality it's 6 days one week and 5 days the other week. Okay, so there is one video that did exactly everything that I did in 9 months, exactly the same number. Watch hour, subscribers, and so on. So you see now the curve is exponential. So the growth, I think Google told me that is 1,100%. Okay, so the growth is insane, month by month. So I'm growing really fast. This is the lighthouse. It's how I find people like yourself to join these rebellions. Okay, this is how we find ourselves. But then we move into Discord, where at the moment we use Discord because it's easy to for everybody. But we are on Discord and we organize ourselves. We have a daily call every single day, 5 days a week. We have 8 p.m. Central European time. We meet on Discord. We talk, we discuss, we build, we learn, and again, link in the description for the Discord community. And then we organize, we build this together. So there is a structure. It takes time, okay? But like those corporations are doing, they're leveraging, they capitalize on everything they do. We do the same, but in a different way. What is our long-term strategy? Okay, how does it work? How is it possible that we are going to succeed in this? So there is a series of elements. Like I said, this YouTube channel at the moment is me. I'm the person that brings most of the people inside the community. But at one point, there are going to be other people, maybe other YouTubers, maybe other kind of influencer, artists, creatives, other community can join. Because what we're building is a community for communities. It's not about one single thing. We need local, small, large, whatever kind of community working together, organize each other. So we have this one single goal, okay? And align with financial retribution for it. So this journey, this path, this will take time, okay? But we synchronize with two different timelines, which also they match each other in somehow. So one is the exponential adoption, actually three timeline, exponential adoption of AI. Okay, and then there is another one that the exponential replacement of humans via AI. And then there is the third alignment, which is the exponential growth of cryptocurrency, okay, or Bitcoin, for example. So Bitcoin goes around a 4-year cycle, okay, that is connected to the technology. Every 4 years, the amount of reward that come out from the Bitcoin minting halves. Okay, so there is a kind of less token in the market being injected at every cycle. So what is happening, the moment that this is called halving happen, there is less token being injected in the market. So this create, after a few days and weeks, a spike in the price, and the prices start to go up. Okay, because as everything, there is less in the market, the price goes up. Okay, so these three cycles, these three curves are moving in somehow in sync. The next halving is going to be in 2 years and a half, something like this. So in reality, there is this, if we align, we have 2 years and a half to get to a good number to have the financial capital to then start the next phase. It's, as everything needs money, but needs most of it is about us as a human, that we put our work, our commitment, and our contribution inside the community. So the plan is complicated, it's long, and there's a lot to talk about. So join the community, we can discuss, we can go through all of it. There is a white paper already written, is a draft, but it's we can build it together and finalize all those strategic points. For those that don't have understanding of maybe AI, cryptocurrency, and so on, you don't need to worry, because this is not about AI and cryptocurrency. Okay, this is us as a human. So your input, whatever it is, okay, it can be you're a mathematician, would be amazing. We need a mathematician. Okay, you can be a sociology, you can be a creatives. These contributions are all valid. Okay, there is no one way to contribute. It's not about coding. It's not about doing financial models. No, it is about us believing in this movement that is called augmentatism. There is a manifesto, augmentatism.com. So have a look at it. So it is about a movement of placing human in the center in this new environment, and building this alternative through a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, a community for communities, and building this multiverse that contrasts the monoculture that they want to build. So it's pretty nothing is simple, okay? But in somehow, once you are in, it's become easier and easier to understand and see those elements that, crazy enough, okay, align with most of us, because every one of us wants to be in somehow in the center. We don't want to be replaced. We want to be augmented by AI. Okay, we want those tools to give us more options, not tools that actually replace me. That I have fun, for example, making music. I don't want an AI that makes music for me. Yeah, because I remove the fun, I remove my joy of living and doing things. Okay, I don't want to have an AI that take my jobs. I mean, I do the job that I love. Okay, if I do a job that I don't like, yeah, I delegate to AI. Okay, do this thing, I don't like it. But there's other part that I love it. So it's working with the communities. It's something beautiful to do. Learning with each other, exploring. It's so beautiful to do. Why should I have AI? What shall I do instead? Okay, just watch TV, just be passive, doom scrolling. So that is what they are building. Okay, that is the madness. Anyway, so I hope this makes sense. I know that you might have 1,001 questions, and that is where we can discuss this on Discord, on our Zoom call. Again, 5 Zoom call a week, so there is a lot of opportunity to discuss this. Now, we need to make this grow. Okay, so if you believe in this, join. So you see, people are calling me, I'm busy. So see you on the next video. Like and subscribe. Ciao.